Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I have my empties video. So these are the empties that I've kind of acquired so far from the months of January and February. Even though I'm filming this, it's not the end of February yet. I do think that it's just time to kind of film, and whatever empties that I magically round up by the end of February, they'll just go in my next empties video. So here we go. I'm gonna start with 3 products that aren't technically going towards the value total of things that I've used up, but they are items that I am deciding to declutter. I don't do these often, but I would actually be okay if I decided to declutter something, maybe one item every video or so. But this was not a hard decision actually. This is a NYX eyeliner in the shade Pretty Violet. Let me see if I can swatch this for you. I think in swatches it looks really pretty, like it's this purple shade, but let me show you, that's built up. Let me show you like one swipe here. So it looks pretty, right? But I think when I go to use it in my waterline, which is where I want to use this kind of pencil, it looks too sheer. It doesn't stick, it doesn't stay, it like disappears almost immediately. When I try to use this on my top waterline, again, I don't think it goes on very smoothly. It's not really, it doesn't provide enough color payoff in my opinion, and I don't think it's quality. I have other ones from NYX, one's a green color and I think I have a blue color, and I really like those colors. I don't have those same issues with them looking too thin or like not having enough color payoff. So I think it's just this color for me. It's just not one that's working out for me right now. So I think maybe you can see it here. It's a little too transparent. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. And then I also had 2 Wet n Wild. These were from the Midnight Mermaid collection. I bought that entire collection because I thought it was really cute, and also Aquaman and like the Justice League thing was going on at the time, so I got really super nerdy about it. And sadly, these did not get nearly enough use from me. They were really beautiful at the time. This is the purple one, and both of these have a black base. Let's see if I can give you somewhat of a swatch. And honestly, I didn't really love, now that I've learned, I've learned from this product that any glitters that I see with the black base are probably not going to be for me, because honestly the way to get them show up and look good is to put them over a black base, and I just don't wear smoky eyes like that often. So this one is the green one, or the blue. Yeah, no, it's got a greenish shift to it, maybe even a little blue in it, but as you can see, they're very dried out now. It's not working anymore. Sad, because this green one was probably my favorite, but again, I didn't really get enough use out of it to warrant it. Wasn't really worth it. I let them dry up on me. And again, I think now I've learned that black base glitters, they're not gonna really work for me that well. So okay, moving into my actual empties, I'm gonna start with products that are not makeup. So the first one is a number 7 Protect and Perfect Advanced Serum. This is 1 fluid ounce, and when I went to do the price checking on it, I looked it up on Ulta, and I was kind of thinking, oh, this is one of those deluxe size that I got in like a little gift pack, because it did come in a gift pack. But the nice fancy packaging at Ulta, or that they normally sell this in, it comes in like maybe a hard plastic, or like looks like a glass bottle almost, but I doubt it is. And I have shocked that they also sell that, even though the packaging looks so much bigger. It's 1 fluid ounce. So this is not worth it in my opinion. It does on the website claim to have matrixyl in it, but I think that there are so many other products out there that are better for your money. This one had a ton of glycerin in it, a ton of smoothing, like it felt very thick, but that's not necessarily what I want from a serum, especially if I want matrixyl and those kind of peptides out of it. I want them to I want to feel like they're sinking in, and I honestly felt like that this serum just kind of sat on top of everything, so I wouldn't pick this up again. It does have some decent ingredients in it, but I don't think it was worth the money. Again, if you haven't checked out Timeless, and they have a coenzyme Q10 that has matrixyl in it, and then they have a separate serum called the Matrixyl Synth 6 serum. Those serums are 10 times better in my opinion. They don't have all the fluff of all the dimethicone and all that, like those. I just don't think the product, I think they put more of that kind of stuff in there to make it feel luxurious, and they probably didn't put as much actual good active ingredient peptides in like the top of the ingredient list as they could have. Next up is a Pond's Cleansing Balm. This one I was really excited about because I wanted to try some cleansing solids, and I had just come off of the First Aid Beauty Coconut Melter kind of thing. It was one in a pump. I found it at TJ Maxx. It was awful. So I didn't have high hopes coming from that cleansing kind of system to this, but this one was pretty good. The only thing I will say that is I think that occasionally this gave me, like, I would get breakouts a little bit often. Not bad, like just little tiny little bumps. And so I don't know if it was this or if it's something else. I'm panning a very old foundation at the time. I'm still occasionally getting little breakouts here and there. I kind of always deal with that, but they never again get too bad. So I can't actually definitively say that it was this, but I have a Clinique cleansing balm. I want to try it in the future, and then if I don't think there's a real difference between the two, I probably pick this up again. But I need to figure out what in the world it was causing me to, what's been causing me to kind of break out here and there. And again, I wouldn't even say they're breakouts. It's just like one or two little spots that I think like, that's odd. I don't think it's hormonal, but then again, it could be my diet. It could be a lot of things. So not a bad cleansing balm, but I don't know if I'm in love with it immediately to go run out and get it again. Next up is the Ordinary Buffet Serum, and this one was one that I picked up at the end of the year. Last year, before we were going home for Christmas, I ran out of my serums, and I needed something that had some peptides in it because I'm a nut about, I want my antioxidants and my peptides. I need them in my skincare. So I ran down to H&M here in Sweden, and they sell these there. So I picked up the Buffet Serum, and it does have peptides in it, and it is a darn good little serum, especially if you need easy access to like serums like this. It felt great, very hydrating. It felt like it sank in. It didn't do, it's really good. I appreciate products like this that just kind of keep their ingredients simple, and they give you the active ingredients that you need. They keep whatever they need to keep those products stable, and they don't put a lot of fluff. Like again, this serum here, they had a lot of similar ingredients, but this one was so full of like things like dimethicone and things that made you feel like you had like silicone on top of your skin, where this really does feel like a true honest serum and it sinks in. So this one is 100 times better in my opinion than this guy here, and I would definitely, if I probably will need to run down and pick another one of these up by the end of the year, because I have a feeling that I will run out of my Timeless serums. I prefer the Timeless brand a little bit more than that Ordinary Buffet one, but this one is a really good option and I would definitely use it again. And the last non-makeup product that I used up was a moisture barrier cream from Goodall, and this one was one I found at Marshall's for $7.99. But I remember back in the day, my first time trying this, I tried a sample from Ulta of this moisture barrier cream, and I remember loving it then. So when I saw it in Marshall's, I snatched it up, especially for the price tag of $8, because I believe it retailed for like over $30 maybe for this thing. And I love the smell of it. I love the feel of it. It has niacinamide in it. It does have some fragrance in it, which is the only big bummer I would say. But when I went to go look for the price of this again on Ulta, it's gone. I actually couldn't find it a lot of places. Like it was very hard to locate. So I don't know if this company has gone out of business, or maybe they just stopped selling at like some of these bigger retailers. So not something that I can even pick up again if I wanted to, but it was really nice. I enjoyed the product. I actually really think that the packaging was nice, and it kind of felt a little bit like fancy and like I was doing something like nice for myself at night when I put it on. So I'm gonna miss that, but at the same time, it's not something that blows me away ingredient wise, so I'm not really bummed. Moving into the makeup products, so the first one I have is my Ecotools sponge. This one is one, I love the shape of the sponge. I love the big flat side. I love this little flat side. I love the big round part. I really enjoy this sponge. However, this sponge for me, and I know like, I think Rebecca Morgan is like a huge fan of this sponge, but for me, this sponge falls apart on me so much quicker than like my Real Technique sponge or my L'Oreal sponge. For whatever reason, it starts to like, and I'm sorry, I know it's gross because it's literally used, but it cracks and breaks, and no matter what, like I try to wash this so gently, I don't feel like I'm that hard on my tools, and this is not the first one of these that I've used up, and for whatever reason, I have a hard time with getting these to last more than like a couple months. Like they just kind of disintegrate on me very quickly. So a little bummed, but I don't think, unless I see these on like super duper cheap sale, I don't think I really pick these up that often, even though I do like the sponge, but I don't think they last that long. So they're not really up there on my priority list. The next product I have is my Carmex lip balm. My husband and I have so many of these, it's ridiculous, but he goes through these in a matter of 2 weeks. It takes me months to get through one of these, and so I do have my first one of the year. It has been an honest to God lifesaver here in Sweden. I need that analgesic kind of feel where it kind of numbs a little bit, because again, the cold and the wind here has been, especially the wind as of late, has been very bad. We've had like almost 25 to 30 mile an hour gusts of wind at like the past couple weeks. And this kind of thing is something that I don't leave the house without. So very good product, highly recommend. My husband loves this one. And my next product is a NYX Primer. So this is the Q10 Renew Skin Elixir. I think they call it skincare and primer, but this was gifted to me from someone, and I don't even know if they sell this anymore. I actually couldn't really find it very well on any of the websites, Ulta or their NYX website. So it was a fine, I think it also, like, again, coenzyme Q10 is an antioxidant. So it did have that in it, but at the same time, I think it's, again, one of those products where I have the same kind of critique as I did of that number 7 kind of thing. As a primer, it was really hydrating. I would use it as a primer, but as actual skincare, I would never say that this was worth my money skincare wise, because I think it packs too many of those like other things that kind of make you feel like it's too thick, like it has those silicone-y kind of feels to it, where again, when I use a primer, I want it to sink into my skin and I don't want to feel like it's just sitting on top of my skin. But I do want to try NYX. I want to try some of their other hydrating primers because I kind of like, I have another hydrating primer from them that I really enjoy. So it kind of has piqued my curiosity a little bit about their primers. And then my last makeup products here, I have 3 mascaras, all of which I would say are not really favorites for me. So I have the L'Oreal Voluminous Original Mascara, and this one is what the brush looks like. I am someone who likes those silicone-y brushes, so these kind of natural bristle brushes don't really work for me. This is the Clinique High Impact Mascara. Again, that same kind of natural bristle wand, not really for me. And then this one here was the It Superhero Mascara. And I have to say, I had really high hopes for this mascara because I've heard so many people say that it's their favorite. This one was one that I had the hardest time. I had to rehydrate it several times, and I don't typically have to do that with mascaras. And so I didn't like having to do that. And also I didn't feel like so my lash type is one I need some product that's gonna hold a curl a little bit, because I will push my lashes up, I will curl them. I just need you to hold them there. And none of these really did that for me. I think out of these 3 mascaras, the one that I would repurchase the fastest would be the L'Oreal one, which is shocking because both of these are high end and I don't think either one of them are like very good at all. And this one was decent. This one was one I bought because I have a really weird bad habit of leaving the house without putting mascara on. So I think I went somewhere one day and realized I was out and about and I had this like beautiful eyeshadow done and like my lashes just looked non-existent. So I had to like run into like a Walmart or something and grab some mascara and put it on in the car. And I used it all the way up since then, but like yeah, not the best. I think that L'Oreal has other mascaras that I like better, but it was not a bad mascara, especially when you think about comparing it to those like high-end ones. This one is better in my opinion. Okay, so that's all my empties for the months of January and February. Let me look down here at my little sheet here. I did write down the total so far. So far in under 2 months of 2020, my empties product total comes to $141, which I don't think is bad at all. And hopefully I'll see this number kind of keep going up at a steady rate, because I love to use up, I don't remember what, I have to look up for the next video what my total was last year that I used up, but I love to kind of beat that number this year. So that's kind of my only goal with empties this year, is that I kind of want to beat the total that I used up last year, which I think I just broke 1,000 last year. So we'll see. I think I'm on a good track for it right now, but that's all for today. Make sure you say hello in the comments and I will see you in the next one. Bye.